that was the last I heard, but I'll verify that and get word out.
Okay, great. That sounds good, though. I'm glad you guys made a connection, and we'll pick it up in the spring.
Yep, I got it.
Thanks, Vern.
I'm sorry, bye.
Oh, you're welcome.
Marcus is trying.
Okay. Do we know what the name of the other group is?
I do not. I'd have to look it up, but I don't have access to that right now.
I believe it's Being Neighborly Lake Stevens.
Being Neighborly Lake
Being
Stevens?
Neighborly Lake Stevens.
Okay.
I can call Mary.
No, I'm just curious.
Actually-
We should get it like for next meeting. Let's try to document it so we've got some kind of record of this.
I'll get it verified for you here in a second.
Okay. So business recognition. I did reach out to an individual. They've, I think, made a decision not to want to be recognized because they haven't responded to several attempts I made. And the last one, I ended up leaving a voicemail saying, you know, if you don't contact me, I'm going to assume that means that you really don't want us to pursue this. So I think in fairness to that individual, I'm not going to say their name, but it was brought up at one of our prior meetings. So I did follow up, and I'll just leave it at that. If anyone has other veteran-owned businesses that they're aware of, please pass it along.
Veteran-owned or veteran or veteran friendly.
Right, good point. Kim, let me move this mic down so we share.
Ken. It is Being Neighborly Lake Stevens.
Okay, great, thank you.
What did we decide on the criteria for where they have to be physically located?
We ended up saying a surrounding community was okay, as long as they're serving the Lake Stevens community. That was the gist of it. Okay. And in fact, to that point, we recognized Carmen's business is in Everett, even though she's a Lake Stevens person, but the business wasn't in Lake Stevens. Okay, community survey. I think we'll have a lot to update here. I'll start, and then I'm going to kind of turn it over to Debbie
Marcus,
because.
you might ask right now, sorry.
Okay, all right, we'll wait for Marcus then.
Yeah, okay, he's in. My apologies, Marcus. I can see you now.
Marcus, why don't you come off mute just so we know that we can hear you, because we couldn't hear you just then.
I'm here. Can you guys hear me now?
Yep,
Yeah,
we're good. Thank
that's
you.
it.
Yes.
Okay, super.
Great.
We were just starting to talk about the community survey, and I'll say one thing to start. We're on track and under budget, so that's kind of my 2 cents. I'm going to hand it over to Debbie. She's not prepared for this, but she's pretty good at ad-libbing because she did the majority of the work getting the list put together of who we're going to send this to, and also the artwork. So Debbie, I apologize for not giving you more warning, but go ahead and update us on anything you want, and I may fill in a few gaps on some of the stuff I've been doing in the back end.
Well, Kevin and Jean and myself, mostly Kevin and Jean, kind of fine-tune the questions. And then I went through and I just, in the packet is the copy of the finalized postcard that we ended up sending to Alexander Printing.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
To be printed. I was able to get a total of 975 addresses. That was between what we had discussed before with homes in Lake Stevens that had VA loans, not the best way to do it, but we got a good hunk of addresses, plus Constitution Park, which people don't own there, but they are military families that live in Constitution Park. So we've put in all of those addresses also. And that was 975 addresses. We had 100 postcards printed. I can't remember why there was only 25 more in case we found an address that we wanted to send it to, we could just write the address on it and send it ourselves. I'm gonna pick up those extra 25 postcards on Thursday.
Just to jump in, you said 100, actually we had 1,000 printed. So
1,000,
975 got
1,000.
mailed, we had
Sorry,
1,000
yes.
printed.
1,000
So
printed, 25 extra. I'm gonna go pick those up. We can send them to whoever we need to send them if we find someone that it needs to go to. We updated the link, so the link went to the survey, the QR code goes to the survey. Kevin, the last time Kevin was able to look, because of the storm and lack of internet, you had about 6. Did you just have about 6 people?
Yeah, there were 8 surveys, 2 people dropped in between. That was after the news flash that came out. from
Okay,
the city.
yeah.
Okay.
And that was from the news flash that came out from the city, because they haven't received the postcards yet. What we did, because of all the lovely postcards we're getting for the election, we decided to hold off sending the postcards until after election day,
Keep it. I got
just to
it.
kind of not compete with all of those postcards. So the postcards.
get more volume.
Sorry? Did you say something, Fern?
I'm sorry, I was talking to someone else.
Oh, okay. So the postcards should be being received towards the end of this week or the beginning of next week. But I have shared it amongst social media and different groups. The veterans of Snohomish County, I shared it there. So we're hoping to see a little bit more coming from social, but then the 975 addresses will be receiving those postcards probably within a week. or
Right.
So,
The thing I want to, I'm sorry,
yeah, I'm good.
the thing I wanted to add was, one of the things that we realized is that the election was coming out and people are just throwing postcards away. So we decided to hold off the mailing of the postcards for a few days. I was handing these around just to, these are actually rejects. I've got some others that printed out better for different reasons. These are rejects, so I thought I'd share them here. We took the postcard and made a little pinup thing about it, right? So we can physically hang these, one of the things that around, like, there's going to be Thanksgiving dinners coming up, there's going to be gatherings for the holidays or any military gatherings. In your packet, you'll see one of the PDFs is a flyer. So this is the flyer. It's actually the postcard without the mailer. And I think this is a reasonable way. Actually, there's the last version of it also has our email address on there, and it's been saved for electronic delivery, so that if someone puts it on their website, if we give it to a group and they put it on their website, the link is clickable. Obviously, if they print it, the QR code is going to be the preferred way. So I wanted to say to everyone, the survey is going to run through mid-December, right? Like December 15th, this is kind of when we'd call it quits. So we have 6 weeks basically to promote this to the military community. And it's a rough time because of the holidays, but I would say there's also an opportunity there, right? To get out and think about where are the veterans going to be with their families. Can we distribute these flyers? So far, I've sent them to the chamber, to Matt at the chamber, and asked him to help promote it. The Community Resource Center is going to help us promote it. But we'll work with Kim to get it on the foundation's website. It's already on the foundation's social media, as Debbie said. I have had success with getting in contact with the Snohomish VSO, so I've sent them a copy of it. They said they would share it with their partners, and I've sent it to Operation Homefront. The things that I'm aware of that would be nice, I think, is I don't know if we have a connection with Snohomish National Guard or at any of the military bases where we could actually put physical copies of these over the next, week, 10 days, something like that.
I can send it to the EASC, to the Military Affairs Committee. They'll put it
Great,
out,
great.
and those people will probably spread it, so I can send that over to EASC. If you'll send me a PDF version of it.
It's in the packet. So if you've got
Yeah,
the
the
packet,
packet.
there is one, and what you can see is this is
Yeah, I
the
saw
latest
that.
version will have this contact us on the bottom,
But it's
right?
not it's in the packet, long in line.
Oh, I'll send you a separate PDF. Sure. I can do
In
no
line with
problem.
all kinds of stuff, so that's not helpful.
Okay. So let me just make a note of that. If anybody else, that's a good point. If anyone else wants a separate PDF, I'll gladly send it, because I guess I should be very clear. I'm asking all the members to think about, do they have contacts they could share this with, and to do so.
We'll put it out to the chamber also.
The one thing I would ask is, if you put it up, we have to take it down mid-December. We have to be good citizens about this. Okay. I think we covered everything on that. Okay, Gene, anything else you want to add?
No, I just think of locations. Can we post anything over there at the library? Is there, I think there's a bulletin board over there. Can we put one over there as well?
I would assume we can.
Any kind of-
That would be the only.
Yeah.
I guess maybe we could post one over there as well.
Yep. Okay. All right, all good stuff, and we will be back together again in December the survey's still live, so we'll have more chance to talk about this. The other guess, I get a little bit of feedback I'll give is, the focus group idea worked. Dawn from the city sent out not a news flash, social media, Facebook and Twitter links asking for people. We got 12 people to give us open-ended answers, what they thought. So I almost was going to prepare it for you guys to look at this meeting, but I thought, let's wait. We've got bigger results hopefully to see, but we got some very thoughtful responses, some suggestions that I'll make sure that you all get to see as we look at the data from the survey. That's probably going to be our January meeting. I would think that would be the goal, is to present the data at the January meeting. And as I also said before, Kim, I think I'll work with you on the side to get some of this stuff up on the foundation's website.
Yeah, we can do that right away.
Okay, does anyone have anything, questions, comments on the survey before we move on? Okay. Oh, I guess the last thing I'll say is, if you want, we can also print these at like Walgreens or something too. So if you think of a place you want to get a dozen printed, I would think the commission would reimburse that if anyone's worried about it. So, okay, moving on to the newsletter. Also in the packet is a copy of the newsletter. I'm ready to send it out. I just wanted to wait to see if there was any additions. Fairly light, but I think the point is to promote the survey.
Yeah, it looks good.
Thank you, Kevin.
Welcome. Vern, I see you maybe had to step away, but if you're there, I'm not sure if the Legion's doing anything between now and the end of the year that you might want to add. That was the only other thing I wanted to make sure I reached out to you before we published it.
I'm still here. My generator went out, so I lost my power, but my computer's still working. And I don't have anything additional to add at this moment.
Okay, Vern, be safe. You're a better man than me staying on the meeting in the dark. I'll say that.
So you got internet. That's weird.
Okay, I'm going to move on to partner network. Just a few things to follow up on. As I mentioned, so here's one from last meeting. The lead VSO for Snohomish County is a woman by the name of Stacy LaFlamme. And I followed up with Dennis. She was, I believe, on the commission when the commission
Yeah,
first
she was
started.
one of the original commissioners.
Yeah, she wasn't there very long.
No.
She had to leave.
So, there's three VSOs and Stacy's the lead. We did have an email exchange in the last week, so I sent her a copy of this. Just backing up, one of the things that came out of the last meeting was, can we get a list of all the veterans from her? She said for privacy reasons, no, they don't share that information. Not really a surprise there, but she was more than willing to do two things. One was she was interested in meeting with us to explain their programs and how we might fit in. And I mentioned, what's going on with the food bank and what we'd like to do in the future. She was very receptive to that in email. And she did make note of, there's a huge demand for VSOs right now. So I think we're aware of that. So I think the follow on there is to get with her for a future meeting. Whether it takes place, I invited her to come to one of our meetings. I haven't heard back from her. We may end up having to go to her office, which, I think we're more than happy to do.
Kevin, is that 3 VSOs plus her, or she's one of the
She's one of the 3. Yeah, and I can send maybe I can send you a link to put in the minutes, because they have an online directory through the government that you can see their names and phone numbers and stuff. Okay. We talked about the guard. I don't know, one of the things that what came back actually from the focus group was the Monroe VFW. I don't know if anyone's involved with that group, but they're, I think, quite active as well. So another area to reach out to. That's probably all I have on Partner Network right now. Does anyone else have anything they want to add or discuss?
There's also the one up near Clearview. There's a VFW up there in Clearview.
Okay.
They've got their own hall and everything.
Don't they have the one, who's the one in Snohomish? Over by Andy's Fish House, I think. They're VFW, aren't they?
I don't know that one. I just have driven by the one in Clearview and see it all the time.
That might be American Legion. I don't know what they are.
Oh, that might have been American Legion.
Okay.
The one other thing actually I had under here was I've also been in touch with Tina. I mentioned that she's going to post the Tina from the Community Resource Center. So I'm going to be meeting with her next week, and hopefully we'll continue to grow that relationship. Okay. I think we're ready to move on to activities on hold. I do have an update on Purple Heart City. So I'd like to thank Aaron Halverson at Public Works and 2 of his guys, Curtis Clifton and Justin Evans, because the Purple Heart City signs are up. With an exception of the Route 9 northbound sign over by 32nd Street Southeast, where the Costco Rotary is and all that. We actually have used all the signs that they have, so we're not quite sure what's going on, whether signs got misplaced, or we know at least one was stolen apparently, and or whether we'll be able to find them. Hopefully we'll be able to find them. Bottom line is, I think we need to order some more. I've talked with Justin about 5. Everyone, he felt that was a good number, because we need one on Route 9 northbound, and also if and when the city puts something up on Route 92 west, then we would need a sign there, and that would be the 8 signs that we had originally planned. So 5 more. If you guys probably don't remember, I didn't, but I went back and looked it up. The signs basically cost $50 a piece. We spent $500 to get 10 of them. So I don't know that it's a pure linear pricing, but we're probably talking $250 to $300 to get 5 more. I sent an inquiry out to get a firm price to the Purple Heart organization, and I haven't heard back. Well, I heard back, but we don't have a price yet. So,
Are they the ones that provide the signs?
yeah, they're very proprietary about the sign making. They have the copyright, and they want you to work through their printer, and the printer bills them, and
That's
then
why
they
the
bill
$50
us.
fine.
And yada, yada, yada. So, yeah, nice people, but it's an ordeal to get the signs. And we'll start that process again. So at some point, I expect to come back and, well, I'll hold this here. I don't know what you guys think. Should I ask for a motion now
No, let's
to
wait till
approve
you
the
get
side,
price.
or wait till we get a firm
We
price?
need to know the price.
That's fair. Okay. So that's what I have on Purple Heart City. We're almost done, but not quite. My goal is to be able to, the next time we go to the council, to be able to say this is finished and it's off our list, right? We're steady state Public Works.
Perfect.
It runs with it. Okay. Does anyone have an update on any other of the on-hold activities?
They're on hold.
No.
No.
Then let's move on to new business. Is there anything under new business to discuss? Okay. Then we're at that time of the meeting where I think I'm going to ask for a motion to adjourn.
I
So
will motion, oh,
Second.
I will motion.
Okay, we have a motion and a second. All in favor to adjourn, say aye.
Aye.
Hi.
Anyone opposed?
Aye.
Thank you.
Was that an aye or a nay, Marcus?
Aye, that's an aye for me.
Okay, thank you. Okay, motion is unanimous. Hope you all have a safe couple of days. Vern, be safe.
Thank you. I'm safe.
Okay,
Good.
good.
Have a good night.